Alrighty, so what is your name?
I'm Katie Anderson.
And what do you do here at the mission?
Yeah, I'm the volunteer coordinator.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So what can people, like everyday people, like teenagers and parents, do to help the problem of homelessness?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's a lot of things. I'd say get plugged into the Lighthouse mission. That's one of the ways that you can help, whether it's helping with keeping things clean and safe, and by helping out with maintenance projects, or serving meals, or coming and hanging out with people, getting to know them. Or it could be something like putting on a drive at your school, or advocating for our guests, or for those who are struggling with homelessness. And I think it could be something as simple as making eye contact with someone and saying hi and talking with someone. And so, yeah, there's a variety of different things. There's a lot of other places in the community that you could get involved in as well, where, yeah, you can help serve in that way as well. Statistically, it has increased. The Opportunity Council, I believe they do a homeless count, or point-in-time count is what it's called. And so they can go through I think it's Whatcom County, or it might just be Bellingham, and do a count of all of the individuals. And so each year, I think it has increased about 14% for the past 4 years. I'm not sure what this last year that increase was. I know there was an increase. We went from about 750 to about 850. So another 100 individuals. There are a variety of different reasons why someone becomes homeless. Sometimes life just happens. Other times there might be addiction struggles. There might be mental health. There might be domestic violence, or fleeing from unsafe situations. And in addition to that, and probably within all of those things, usually trauma is a reason why someone comes to stay with us, or finds themselves to be homeless. And so that's something that maybe something happened to them in the past, and that might have even triggered them to start using drugs or alcohol, or maybe, yeah, things like that. So trauma, I think, is an overarching theme over all of those. It's really hard to say, though, and put people in boxes as to what their story looks like and why homelessness has increased. There are a variety of different reasons. Yeah.
Robbie Rock. All my family's back in Minnesota. Yeah, something being stubborn. I want to go there after I'm, with a brand new car and stuff. I mean, my nephews and things, they got whiskers and everything now.
Yeah.
I'm a great uncle 5 or 6 times over. Home, different. They put a light rail in there and everything since 2000. I would love to, a lot of people keep telling me, even my family, don't worry about the finances, just get on home, and a lot of people get home and see your mother. Just being stubborn, I feel good once I'm got my support and sponsor, and alcohol's been my downfall throughout my life, and I lost many jobs, just because of being stubborn. Oh, when I was about 12 years old, smoking marijuana. However, I hate to say the word but, because but discounts the story. However, alcohol leads to other things, other harder drugs, which I had experience with crack too. The thing that's going around that's really bad is the meth.
Yeah.
There's a lot here. There's a lot in Spokane. House of Charity. So I run from here to there, and it's all in me. It's all in my mind. I understand this. I really do. I mean, there's a lot of resources up here, and I'm excited about engaging in them. And it's because I've been to other places like Spokane, and it's just not a lot of resources. And I know there's hope here. And when I relapsed, I guess I was losing hope and things like that. So I'm kind of choked up about it because it's kind of I like Bellingham.
So my name is Kate Robertson, and I'm the Street Outreach Team Lead for the Opportunity Council's Homeless Outreach Team. So our program's still relatively new. We just passed our 3-year mark, or about to come up on our three-year mark rather, but I've been doing this work since 2002. So historically, kind of the way that homeless services have operated, it's almost sort of like social Darwinism, right? It's whoever has the most ability to be able to come in, or maybe they've got the support of family members or case managers. They're the ones who historically have received the most services because they know how to access them. One of the things we realize is that there are all of these folks out there in camps, on the street, just kind of wherever, for whatever reason, they're not able to make it into the office, and then they weren't getting connected to services. It's kind of a big deal to come in and ask for help, right? And when you do that and then you run into walls, it's really discouraging. So our team was formed in part to go out and meet with folks who wouldn't come in or wouldn't have access to services in other ways. So we'll go out to camps in the mornings. We start at 7 a.m. The Black Drop donates coffee. So we go out and wake folks up because there's an ordinance where if you're sitting or sleeping on the sidewalk past 7 a.m. you can be cited. And that's unfortunate for the person experiencing homelessness, right? Like having to deal with a citation. It's also not the best use, I think, of police time or energy, and it's tricky because there are really valid competing realities. You've got somebody who doesn't have a place to sleep, needs a place to sleep. A business owner needs folks to be able to get in and out of their doorways, right? Those are both real needs, and they're competing against each other, right? So our goal is to go out and try to get folks out before businesses open, and try to build relationships, and then out of those relationships, connect people to the services that they're interested in. Even if folks never make movement towards services or change, we believe really strongly that being in a relationship is enough. So that's basically what we do in a nutshell. So the easiest and most important thing is when you're walking down the street and you see somebody who's experiencing homelessness, or just people, right? Like, make eye contact and smile. And if you walk the same way to school every day and you see the same people, for sure, just as you would with anything, like, be wise, like, don't go anywhere with people you don't know. I mean, like basic safety stuff, but for the most part, like, just get to know people, right? Like, the thing that our team hears more often than not is that people just feel worthless and invisible. And making that human connection is the primary thing that we can do. I think also really being wise and careful about the language that we use. How do we talk about people, right? Because the way that we talk influences the way that we think. The way that we think influences the way that we talk. So if we say things, that means we're thinking it, and that our thoughts and our words lead us to the action that we take, right? So like, somebody who, I use the phrase experiencing homelessness because it's who we are. Is like, none of us can be defined by one aspect of who we are, right? And just remembering that, like, every single person who's out on the street is somebody's son or daughter, brother, mother, sister, cousin, right? Like, they came from somewhere, and being present to that. The other thing that I think is really important is, like I mentioned before, get to know your neighbors, right? Like, be present with people, get to know the people around you. And bottom line is, I I believe with everything that I am that each one of us has something unique inside of us that our community needs in order to be able to thrive. And if individually we're not able to step into that, then not only are we robbing ourselves of kind of our own uniqueness, our community is also suffering because we need all of us and what we have to give in order to be able to thrive as a community, right? So 2 things. 1, figure out what your heart beats for and then pursue that with all of your passion. Because if you do that, you're going to impact whatever it is in the world that you're supposed to impact, right? The other thing is look for space. Look for the places where we can create space for other people to thrive, right? Those all sound like maybe a little, I don't know if they're cheesy or not maybe necessarily directly related to homelessness, but they all tie back to this is an issue of humanity, and figuring out how to be humans is how we move towards, I think, addressing this stuff. There are also places, like definitely if you've got, all nonprofits will accept donations. It takes money to run programs. If you've got code, there's all that really practical stuff that can be done too, but what's more important than that is the personal connection and the way we think about people,